Very recently, 2 of my days were almost ruined. On the first day I was playing football, or soccer, and I left the game halfway, feeling like crap. We were playing at a park, and after every mistake I made, if I got a pass wrong or if I got tackled, and the guys on my team lost their heads at me. And this was, mind you, at a park, with goalposts like no higher than knee level, like the kind you could like fold up and like put in your pocket or something. I also just met these guys like on that day just a few minutes before, and I got shouted at less when I was playing for my high school, and I let in 4 goals in a single half, and yeah, I guess it was largely my fault. So during the break, I just picked up my stuff and I left. I came for a chill game, that's not what I got, and honestly, I felt pretty horrible for the next couple of hours. When I got home, after stuffing myself with junk food to cheer myself up, I meditated and reflected on why I felt so shitty over something so trivial. I was never going to see these people again, so why did it matter that I sucked at soccer to them? I realized then that this wasn't a one-time thing. I often feel like I got punched in the gut if someone said anything negative about me. So why does this happen? And the classic reason would be due to a lack of confidence and self-esteem. Sure, but I tried digging deeper, and I found a source of this insecurity which gave me a starting point to work from. I realized that I was always scared of being judged because I have always been judgmental myself. And I used to be very insecure in the past, and unfortunately, judging other people has become a habit of mine over the years. And when I judge others, I inadvertently create these categories which I put people in. You know, things like immature, try-hard, asshole, or anything like that. A famous yogi who played a large part in bringing yoga to America, Paramahansa Yogananda, said in his book that some people try to feel tall by cutting the heads of others. And that's exactly what people, myself included, do when we try to label other people negatively to feel better about ourselves. It may be evolutionarily beneficial to categorize people to those who we trust and those who we don't, for example, to increase our chances of survival. But honestly, like so many evolutionary mechanisms today, it doesn't really apply in the modern world and doesn't necessarily help us with our survival, much less make us happy. So when I feel like I'm getting judged, I get scared. I get afraid of being put in the same categories that I am so accustomed to putting people in. And now obviously I'm not perfect, but at least now I know what to work on. There's the confidence to build, and there's these judgmental habits to slowly dismantle. I figure that if we stop judging others, if we stop forcing people into these categories, then we'll be less afraid of being put in these boxes ourselves. Because realistically, these boxes don't actually exist. People are never just one thing. And we shouldn't base people's entire characters on short encounters, or even worse, their mistakes. Well, whether we can determine an entire person's character ever is up for debate, but we'll save that for another video. And just a few days ago, my car battery died, and so I called AAA's emergency services to kind of jumpstart my car and get it fixed again. And the guy eventually arrives and he calls me and he acts all pissy because apparently I gave him the wrong address, which I didn't. And so we get to my car, and I may have forgotten where the latch is to open the hood of my car. It's been a while. But he just looks at me and he rolls his eyes and starts shaking his head. Admittedly, I did get kind of pissed at that point, but I just ignored it and I moved on. So he asked me to start my car, which I did, and when he's done charging my battery, he says, okay, it's all set. And so I turn off my car, and then he glares at me and he says, I didn't tell you to switch off your car. And as much as I wanted to retaliate, I knew that he was just gonna go in a few more seconds. So I just held my tongue and I just switched my car back on. And was it silly that I didn't know where my latch was and I didn't know to let my car run a little bit more after he was done charging? Probably, yes. But did he need to act in that kind of way? Probably not either. But it was very easy and very tempting to say that he was an asshole. I definitely wanted to put him in that asshole category. But really, maybe he was just having a bad day, as my roommate said, and harboring anger over the situation, over him, doesn't do me any good anyway. There's a saying that I heard from a monk once, that harboring anger over someone, over a situation that has passed, is like taking the spit of someone else and swallowing it voluntarily. But without going too deep into the metaphor, I really like that quote. Like, no one is ever asking us to swallow the spit of other people. And no one ever asks us to get angry when other people act like assholes to us. Negative reactions to situations, and in this case anger, they have their place in certain situations. But in this case, to get angry at a bunch of soccer players I'll never see again, or the guy who jump started my car, who I'll also never see again probably, absolutely no use harboring anger or any negative emotions over them. So maybe if we start to peel away from the reactionary judgment that has been so habitual and so ingrained in our behavior, then maybe we'll be less afraid of being judged and we'll be more free as a result. And these are just my thoughts on judgment and feeling shitty as a result of it. If you agree with me, if you disagree, if you have some thoughts, then I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. And yeah, I'll see you on the next one. Please leave a like, subscribe, and comment. See ya.